So now let's take a look at two main files that will be implementing a lot of our logic in terms of handling the dialog state. So the first thing that we see is this main.py file. And all this is looking for is um, if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equal to main, then this is where the app will start. And it will import everything from app and then just launch the application. So this is the kind of like the core container for our application. Now the actual dialog handling is implemented in our init.py. So we'll be taking a look at this file line by line. Um, First, we have some imports of the application, form entity object, and then we have the application object itself. Now we come over here to the first decorator, which is the app handle, and what this does is it captures the intent greet. So when the system classifies that the user is trying to say hello, then our application will come into this function. Now you have two objects here, the request and the responder. These are important objects that contain, the request will contain some context about what the system currently knows about the user, and the responder contains or is the method by which you can generate the response and interact with the system as a whole. So let's take a look at that more specifically. The first thing we do is we try to look for, do we have the person's name? So that's what slots are. It's just a dictionary inside of the responder object. And we set that equal to the context. So if it exists in the context, we add it to the responder object in slots. And then we say, hello, Jonathan, let's say. And now that we have that prefix, we can add it to our reply. Say, hello, Jonathan, I can help you find store hours for your local Quickie Mart. How can I help you? How can I help? So this basically is just a way for us to grab the context of their name and then put it into a reply. And there's a chance we might not find their name, in which case we would get we would accept this key error if that was the case, that we couldn't find the name in that dictionary over here. So we would just say hello without the name and proceed. So that's what that first dialog handler is doing there in the welcome command. Similarly, we have say goodbye. We have the request, the responder. We identify that it's the exit intent, and then we do responder.reply. Now the fact that there's a list here means that it'll randomly return any one of these in the list. So when it's a goodbye intent, it'll say either bye, goodbye, or have a nice day. Now we have the send the nearest store. So we try to get the user's location from the context dictionary, which is inside the request object. And that's what we know about the user. If we can't find it, if we don't have the information, we say, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't really know where you are. And then you can do suggest, which is like share a location, and then collect that information. Now, say you do know where the person is, we can use the question answer object. This exists as part of the app object and do a .get. And we can essentially get, our index would be stores, sort them by location and the distance, and then you get all the stores here in your list. Now the target store would be the one that's closest, so we return 0, and then we put that into our frame, the responder frame, and finally do a responder reply. And this is what will go into the CLI chat. This is default, so if you ever are not able to match on a specific intent, this is your general sorry I didn't understand prompt, and hopefully the user will respond with something that our system can understand.